Hey there, and welcome back to the channel. I heard from a coworker the other day that our local Schnucks grocery store had a display of DC Comics in it. So I went by there and I found these. So it's, been a long time since I found comic books in a grocery store. That's probably where I got my first comic. I really don't remember. I remember we would go grocery shopping when I was a kid, and if I was good, I would get a comic book. So I have a lot of memories of getting comics at the grocery store, but again, something I haven't been able to do for years now. You don't really see comics on newsstands anymore, and if you do, see comics in a grocery store anymore, it's usually like an Archie Digest at the checkout counter. I think that's all they really have at Walmart anymore, so I went over and checked it out, and this is what I found. So it was a display of DC Comics, and this is similar to what I found at my local Dollar Tree, which I made a video on a while back if you want to check that out. Kind of the big difference here is where the comics at the Dollar Tree were $1.25, all of these here are $2.98. So again, not, $3.99, $4.99 like we kind of see for comics now. So it is a little cheaper. Hopefully that's a little more of an introductory price for people, and hopefully for kids, because all these here that I picked up are first issues. So again, that's a good introduction to someone for a new book. So none of these are new, but some of these aren't that old either. So we've got Batman and Robin Year 1, number 1 here. And so I thought I'd go through here and take a look at what I picked up. So I went ahead and picked up books that I didn't have already, or ones that were maybe notable or variations on what I already had. So I picked up Batman and Robin Year 1, number 1, mostly just because I love this book. If you've been watching my videos where I get my new books every week, this is one of my favorite books coming out right now. So I wanted to pick this one up. Next we have Teen Titans Go, number 1. And I think I have the number 1 from the original series of this, but I'm pretty sure this is a later volume, probably tying into the recent cartoon. Harley Quinn and the Suicide Squad, April Fool's Day special. Again, this was something I didn't pick up when it came out, so I got this. Green Lanterns number 1 from the DC Rebirth era relaunch. Then from the Dawn of DC, we've got Green Lantern War Journal number 1 with John Stewart. Justice League Infinity number 1. Again, this was a book that back when it came out I kept meaning to pick up and just never did. We've got My Adventures with Superman number 1. Again, tying into the new Superman cartoon that's out. Batman Scooby-Doo Mysteries number 1. Again, this was a book I was collecting when it came out, but I'm not going to pass up a chance to support this book. Hopefully, some version of it comes back. Then from Infinite Frontier, we've got Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow number 1. I recently finally read this as part of a comic book club I'm in, and this is also supposed to be sort of an inspiration for the Supergirl movie we're getting. We've got a Justice League Dark number 1. JLA number 1. Now this is probably the oldest book that was available on this display. Again, this is mid-90s. This is the Grant Morrison Howard Porter run, which I love. I had to pick this book up. I already have it, but again, I love this series. This is probably my favorite run of Justice League. This book was coming out when I turned 16 and started driving myself to the comic shop. Whenever JLA came out, I would read the issue in the parking lot before I left. Then we have another issue of Batman Scooby-Doo Mysteries, and this says featuring Batwoman on the cover. Now, I know I have this issue, but again, it didn't have the Batwoman kind of header there in the title, and so there's a few more of these, and so that's why I picked those up. We've got Wonder Woman number 1, and so this is from the new Dawn of DC Tom King run, which I've read a few issues of, and this was good, so I wanted to pick this one up. Then we have another Batman Scooby-Doo Mysteries, and this is featuring Catwoman here on the title. And then we've got Superman Lost number 1, and again, this was a book that I heard was pretty good, but I didn't pick it up when it was coming out, and this, I don't know, was this last year maybe I think this came out? Then we've got Robin, Son of Batman number 1, and this is the Damian series. And we've got Beware the Batman number 1, and this was from a couple animated series ago. And I don't think I have any of these issues, actually. I think this was something I was going to try to find the whole run on, and I just haven't yet. Then we've got another Batman Scooby-Doo Mysteries featuring the Joker here. Again, this wasn't, you know, like a first issue, but that's kind of how they're numbering it here for this. We've got Nightwing #1, again from the DC Rebirth era. And last, we've got Batman Brave and the Bold #1. And again, I don't think this was the first issue. It might have been. I'd have to go back and look. But I feel like they brought Superman in later to the title. So that's everything I got here. I got like 20 issues, I think, here. And, you know, they're all bagged like this. Again, that's probably something you really want on a newsstand, you know, on a display today. And so these are all new printings. These aren't like old stock from somewhere. They all have this ad here on the back for DC Universe Infinite and that kind of thing. So I thought I'd take a look, open this one up, and kind of compare and contrast it to the original version. So let's take a look at this one here. We'll open this one up. And here's the original first printing here as it came out. Move these to the side. So first off, we don't have the corner box on the cover, and we don't have the credits listed above the UPC here. So again, there's two differences right on the cover. So if you do come across this one in the wild, that's kind of a way to tell the difference here. And of course the back covers are going to be different. So this one has an ad for the DC Universe Online expansion, and this has the DC Universe Infinite ad. So let's see here. Okay, so yeah, we've got different ads on the inside front cover here. So we've got this one for Absolute Wonder Woman that was coming out at the time, and this is something for Heroic Deals. So yeah, I'm not really sure what that is. Okay, so I've adjusted the camera here so we can kind of take a look at the two books side by side here. So again, first page is the same. And so it looks like the story pages are the same. Okay, this is good. So they didn't switch up the page placement to break up the spreads or anything like that, so that's good. Again, there's the old issue of Batman Shadow of the Bat #1 that had a printing mistake like that in it that interrupted the story. But yeah, these are pretty much the same throughout, it looks like. So no weird ad placement or pages out of order or anything crazy like that, which is always good. Okay, so the original has this AEW insert that they were doing at the time, like a promotion with the wrestling company. And so now we have an ad instead for Absolute Batman. Again, there's no reason for them to put this in a reprint. And so, oh, and then we have a preview here for Absolute Batman #1, it looks like, too. So, getting people into that. And so, the original here has the DC Nation page and an ad for the Christopher Reeve documentary. Here we have, okay, so we have ads for Batman graphic novels. Again, that's what you want in your Batman book that you're trying to get new readers into, kind of pointing them in the right direction of what else to check out. And again, for the last page here, we have this ad for heroicdeals.com. Again, haven't heard of that. I'm not sure what that is. But yeah, then we've got, you know, back covers again with the DC Universe Online ad, but now this has the same DC Universe Infinite ad on all of them. So there's that. And again, this is a good book. This is a good intro, you know, issue for somebody probably, especially if you're into Batman. And this series is still going on even, so you could get this right now at the comic shop if this is something you're interested in and want to keep reading. And again, you know, they have the ad there for the trades at the back. Hopefully somebody, you know, is into this and becomes a new reader, you know, I'm sure that's what they've got their fingers crossed for on this one. But yeah, pretty much a good introductory issues on all these. So yeah, if somebody's wanting somewhere to start, all these are pretty much, you know, good intros. And again, a lot of good issues here too. Nothing really that I kind of balked at. Like, they all kind of made sense when I saw them on the you know, display there at the store. So yeah, again, maybe just like a good gift for somebody. Hopefully, you know, some kids get into comics this way. I've always kind of questioned the Archie Digest approach, because I know those are almost like impulse buys at the register now, but the cover price for those is like $10 now. So I think $10 is a little high to be taking a chance on a new book. But again, these are $3. I found these at my local Schnucks grocery store. I know there are gas stations that have some of them now. I would assume there's maybe some other stores that are carrying them too, hopefully. Because again, you know, it's nice to buy comics somewhere other than a comic shop. Again, I'm not here to bash comic shops. I love them. Been going to them for years. They're a big part of my life. But, you know, it used to be you could buy comics at several different places, you know. I first started picking them up at the grocery store. Walmart used to carry them regularly back in the day, and like Kmart, you know, different stores like that. They were more easily accessible back in the day. And again, I don't think that's really doing the industry any favors by making them more scarce and more of a niche thing. So it's nice kind of seeing them back out, you know, in the public a little more. Hopefully, with some of the superhero movies coming out now and that kind of thing, kids or, you know, lapsed readers maybe will find them and get into them again. This can't, you know, be a bad thing for the industry. Really good call here from DC, I think, on doing these sort of dedicated stands for this. And I think, you know, a lot of thought was probably put into this issue selection here. And again, $3 is cheaper than a book is now. So there's that. And, you know, they even have a $3.99 price point on here. But the ones I bought, you know, these all rung up as $2.98 here. So, yeah, so this Scooby-Doo, Batman Scooby-Doo one here, I don't know if that's showing up on screen. But yeah, that's a $4.99 price tag on that one. But again, $2.98 when they rung up at the register. So comics need to be somewhat affordable for someone to take a chance on them. So yeah, have you seen anything like this out in the wild? Have you seen these anywhere else? Definitely let me know in the comments. And thanks for watching. If you'd like to follow me on social media, I'm on Twitter/X at Detective651. Also on Instagram at Detective651. Be sure to check out my t-shirt store at tpublic.com/user/Detective651. Got a lot of nerdy designs on there, and there's sales all the time, so check it out frequently.